What is up, YouTubers, and welcome to the Raffleberry Capone Cake channel. I'm Jesse, your host of the Jesse Hill Airsoft Corner. Today we're going to be talking about how to take out a tank. Of course, using the loudest Thunder, S-Thunder long 40mm grenade tube, and here's the reason why. In a lot of sporting events such as Airsoft, and mainly Paintball, you have a lot of tanks, such as motorized vehicles repurposed, or just things with like plywood stuck to them. But usually the rule to take them out is either you have some sort of rocket launcher or something that's designated as a heavy weapon to take out things, not just a paintball gun, because that doesn't technically count according to the rules. Well, using something like what I have here is a badminton birdie, just deep inside there. Or something maybe like a Nerf foam ball, or just something like that, some sort of slug that will hit the target that has been painted and designated, or depresses it or something like that, shows the hit. That will indicate that the tank has been disabled or destroyed. So I figured that this is a good way of doing it, or you can just stuff it blunderbuss style, but I figured this is a good way. So what you do is you want to take a badminton birdie and cut it, and so it's three tails equal all the way around. What that will do is cause it to stabilize a lot better than its conical shape, which I found often makes it skew and tumble and all sorts of goofy stuff. So you simply load it right there, close it up, and the bunny ears actually do come in handy, like I've said in the past videos, for slugs and things like that. The first video test we did actually went better than we thought. As you can tell, the top of that fence post, it was about a foot above that because I was aiming just a little bit up. See how far? We got about 70 feet out of that, which is pretty freaking impressive for something like this. You know, I wouldn't expect that out of anything else, especially shooting a slug, which has a bigger, size, but it's shot straight and true. And of course, you want to use CO2 for a little more oomph. So I'm going to, of course, fire at this target. As you can tell, it hit the target in that general area, about the size of a Tupperware lid. I had to put the cinder block there because it was starting to blow away. And as you can tell, I just fired as straight as I possibly could, and of course my sights weren't barreled in for that because I've been aiming up a lot lately, but as you can tell, with little to no effort, that hit the target. If I adjusted just a little bit, like a quarter of an inch higher, that would have hit it right at the head or right in the center. So you really don't fail, and that being said, this could be like a tree or something hiding, and they're way over there. That's pretty impressive for a distance of engagement. So that definitely proves that this is definitely a viable tool for taking out tanks and stuff, if you have a game where that's appropriate or something like that. So we're going to pause the video, and we're going to see how far that badminton cool about this. I'm going to take the shell out, of course. I went and retrieved the birdie, of course, and I'm going to set this down gently. Now, I was going to show you that birdie. Normally the birdie is in a cone shape and it flies. The problem is it tumbles a lot of the time like this. And that's an issue because you want to actually hit the target. Well, I accidentally split it like so. And I was like, well, crap. I'm going to either have to duct tape it to get a better seal. I didn't know what to do. So I had a hunch, just like an arrow that I've shot, like on a bow and arrow I've shot before. This definitely helps. By opening these up fairly, in a very even, because they're separated even, so you're going to want 5 bars, it's able to fly straight, and the tail's actually stabilized, and all the gas actually gets trapped behind it. So it actually helps a lot more than I originally thought, which was definitely a surprise. So what you're going to want to do is you want to take your Mad Bull gas pin, place it here, apply a lot of pressure because it takes a lot of gas. You probably only get 3 shots per CO2 cartridge, which is a bit of a bummer, but CO2 is really cheap, so it's really not that big of a deal. So you take that, of course, take this, and you kind of want to gently scrunch it up to where it'll fit in there nice and straight and even, because you don't want one lip kind of standing up a little. Pack it all the way down to the very bottom. Take lead grenade launcher, open it up, of course, gently drop it in there, and again, we're going to see how far we can go. So, bunny ears up, so I got to adjust it to about 150 feet. Instead of yardage, you do feetage. So a little bit over 200 feet is a little bit of wishful thinking, but I've seen things go quite far shooting things out of this. About to that barn was the furthest I've ever got with something, and we went and tested and looked at, and it was incredible. So about 100 and some odd feet is probably the best. This is around, I'd say about 75, 80 feet. So I'm gonna aim straight up. Now, we do have a cross breeze, so you also got to remember that, but the first time we accidentally missed the target, it went about 75 feet-ish, something around there. But that came up a little short because the wind is blowing a little bit. So it's taking those tails and skewing them just a little bit, as you saw. It slowly started to descend. So it landed, that's roughly, I'd say about 65 feet to 70 feet. Again, that's a really conservative distance, but considering you're going to be attacking a moving and or static target and waiting for your perfect shot, this makes it a lot easier than just, I've seen a lot of people just pack like some sort of ball in there, and that takes time. Whereas this is self-contained, which is better, you know, because it's easier just to drop it in there than it is to do the musket style. Place the primer, pack it in there, hope to God it hits something, because then you have to unload, place another piece in there, pack the primer, and then fire it again. And that takes a long time, whereas you just unlatch it, drop another one in there. Well guys, this is the Jesse Hill Airsoft Corner. Remember, when you are playing, to keep a full steel protection on your face, make sure that you're playing in a sanctioned area, make sure your gun is in a gun bag and unloaded when you aren't playing, and keep them separate so that people can't accuse you of anything. I'm going to end it off with this. I loaded these with CO2 for the first time ever. Oh wow. Which actually increased the range and made it a little bit louder. But you guys, have a wonderful, awesome day, and keep on airsofting.